everyone. Welcome to Gardening for Better Health. This is Henry B. 723 coming to you today from my deck in Michigan. Today is an absolutely beautiful day. We are actually having a 60-degree day here on November the 15th in Michigan. To get a 60-degree day in the middle of November is absolutely phenomenal. So I'm out here enjoying the sunshine and blue skies. There's a lot of noise in the background because here people are taking advantage of the nice weather. I hear a leaf blower in the background and a lot of other things going on where people are working in their yards. So please excuse those distractions. It's not something that I can control, and they'll just do what they're doing and we'll do what we're doing. I wanted to give you some information on how I winterize my garden for the winter. Here in Michigan, our winters get to be well below zero in the wintertime, and so I really have to make some preparations so that when the cold comes, it doesn't kill everything in the yard permanently. So what I do is, when I get ready to bed down my garden for the winter, I go through all of my beds, and anything that's harvestable in the beds, I go ahead and do a last harvest and make sure that the beds are completely empty of all vegetables. So I've done that already. I make sure that if I'm going to plant anything for the fall, like garlic, I've already done that as well. I've got my garlic in the beds and planted already. So that's my second tip. The first one, clear out your beds of all your vegetables. The second one, if you're going to plant some things to overwinter like garlic, make sure you have that in the ground already or in your beds. Here we plant garlic the end of October, early November, and it's probably will differ where you are depending on where you live. So you have to check that out as to exactly the best time to plant garlic in your area if you're planting garlic. So if you haven't already planted your garlic and intended to, now's the time to check it out. So with those two things being done, the next thing on my list to do is to make sure that the dirt or the soil that's in my planters is de-weeded and smoothed out. That way there won't be any weed seeds growing in the bed over the winter, because you've taken all of those weeds out, you smoothed your bed over. And the next tip is make sure you mulch if you're overwintering anything in your beds. I recommend that you put at least 3 to 4 inches of mulch in your beds if you're overwintering something like garlic, to keep those bulbs warm so that they know that, okay, I'm not going to die because it's getting cold. I'm being protected. So that's what I would suggest you do, that you do use mulch. The mulch that I use leaf mulch. I have a lot of leaves that fall every year. My neighbor has a lot of leaves, and he has one of those little, it's a tool that he uses to grind up the leaves to make fine leaf mulch. And he's kind enough to give me some of his leaf mulch when he does that. So I usually don't have to buy the leaf mulch. He'll give me some of his, and that's what I used in my beds to make sure that my garlic has a lot of leaf mulch in it. My other beds that are empty, I usually don't put any mulch in there, but I do cover them up. If you look behind me, you see the beds back there with the covers on them. All of my beds are covered, and there are a couple reasons I do that. Number one is to keep weed seeds from blowing in there in the beds over the winter, because otherwise come spring I'll go look at my beds and there'll be weeds growing in there, and you wonder, okay, where did these weeds come from? But they blow in with the wind. The second reason I cover my beds up is because we have a very active squirrel population here. The squirrels love to go and they dig and they put things in the bed, and then later on they'll go back and they'll take it out, and then I'll come out and there'll be little holes all over the beds where they've been digging in the beds, and if there are bulbs in there, they will dig the bulbs out too. So you wind up with springtime coming and you're looking for your garlic to come up, or something else that you may have overwintered, and it's gone because they've been in there digging. And my squirrels, when they come and they dig and they take something out of my bed, they'll go find some junk from somewhere and they will replace it with something that they found somewhere else and put it in the bed, as if to say, okay, let's trade. I want this, I'll give you this instead. We're even now. So they're very creative little creatures. They're cute to look at, but I really don't enjoy finding surprises in my beds when I'm expecting to have some vegetables. So that's the other reason that I cover them up. So those are some of the things that I do. Another thing that I do, aside from covering up the beds, is I make sure that my water hoses are removed from the garden. Some people who live in warmer climates may not have this issue, but here where we get hard freezes, it's very, very important to remove the hoses before it freezes, because the freeze will burst your hoses, and you'll go out there in the spring and you have to replace all your hoses because they burst. And it's also a good idea to buy those little I guess they call them faucet sleeves. It's a piece of hard plastic that goes over your water spigot so that the spigot does not freeze as well. So those are some of the things that I do when I winterize my garden. I make sure, like I said, that I empty the beds, I de-weed the beds, and then I go through and I mulch very good with a few inches of leaves, and then I cover my beds to make sure that weeds don't blow in it, and the squirrels don't dig up everything that I have overwintering. So that's what I have been thinking about. That's what I wanted to share with you. I hope things are going well for you and yours. If you got some good information from this video, please like, share, and subscribe. In the meantime, have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next video.